Sometimes people have more dollars than cents.
You can get a good water maker for between 3 and 5. Hey guys, we're back. A few weeks ago, we showed you a video on how to live in the Keys on the cheap. And you know what? It is amazing. Every day is sunny and warm. The ladies are fairly to-do. And the rum flows freely. Well, it usually does.
It did until it was gone.
So, you think being out here is all beaches and bikinis and booze? No, you're wrong. It is a hard life.
Living on the ball or being a cruiser is living off grid, right? You're not connected to power. You're not connected to water. It's not like a house. You don't have all those amenities. We saw a thing about people trying to live off grid and claiming they weren't tough enough.
This is a channel that we follow and think very highly of, and they've done a lot of stuff up until now that's been.
We thought they were off grid already, but they weren't. They were homesteaders. I guess that's different.
Yeah.
But grow their own food, kill their own animals, and they tried to go off grid, and they said they were not tough enough. Which is crazy to us because we've been completely off grid. I mean, completely off grid since September. We've actually had it rougher than some because, it's like, oh, we only have power for like 4 hours a day when the sun is really bright.
That's true. Yeah, actually, we started out so rough that every step up is a pretty grand improvement for us. And we feel like we're spoiled because we have power we can watch TV after dark. We have power all day long. We can run the microwave and not have to turn on the generator.
So we are absolutely, completely off grid. We have no ties to the rest of the world. I mean, we are completely disconnected. Cruisers have a whole bunch of cool tech on their boat to make life as easy as possible, but it's still a rough life. You have concerns about power. One of the basic necessities, right? Shelter. The boat provides really good shelter. You need power. You need water. You need food. Because of that, you're going to have waste, both human and trash. You have to be able to cook and prepare stuff. So we're going to go over all of the difficulties of living on anchor, at sea, or on the ball here. So this video is brought to you by these wonderful people. These are the League of Mariners, our patrons, who support us directly on patreon.com/forloveofwind. We could not continue to do this without you, and they're amazing people.
So right now it is 8:08 in the morning, exactly 1 hour after sunrise. We keep our solar panels in series so that we make more voltage Right now we have winds that are slightly out of the north, so flow is pointed slightly north, putting our solar panels in the back, and it's already only 1 hour after sunrise, and we're making almost 10 amps of power, which is really nice. It doesn't cover our load when we have the inverter on and the internet on, and Misha's down there doing breakfast, and we're watching the news. But 1 hour after sunrise to 1 hour after sunset, we are pretty close to covering our load. And then by midday, you know, we're up in the, and this is winter time, right? This is when the sun is the lowest, but by midday we're up into the 60s in terms of amperage. So really good load. In the summer we will hit 80s for amperage, 79. I think the highest we've ever seen is 82, 83. That was very close to the summer solstice when the sun is most directly overhead at this point. We had 3 days straight of just heavy overcast, and yeah, we ran the generator maybe an hour a day the second and third day, not the first day. This is not to say that we can run the heat. It was 59 degrees this morning, which is a little chilly. I'm sure most of you are much cooler than that, but for us it's a little chilly. And on Sunday it was over 80, and with the sun beating on the boat, it was warm. So we do not run the AC. We do not run the heat.
Some people think that off-grid means living like a Little House on the Prairie, or like you know, some kind of log cabin with nothing. That's absolutely not what off-grid is. Maybe for some they think that, but that's technically like really rustic living, and you know, I get simplifying your life, but technology that helps your life is a thing. Even the Amish use technology. Now, their technology is circa 1800s, right? But somebody from the 1500s will be like, look at all them newfangled up and down to make butter things they got. That's crazy.
Pretty sure that they talked like that back then.
They did back in the 1600s.
Newfangled. That was one of their favorite words.
One of the things about living on batteries and solar is you do not get to burn power the way you used to. You remember when you were a kid and your dad was like, do not touch the thermostat? Was very like, turn off the lights when you leave the room and don't leave the doors open. You remember your parents saying that? Yeah. We are those people. On top of that, we do not use the AC and we do not use the heat. If you can't handle bundling up when it's a little chilly, if you can't handle being a little warm when it's 85 degrees outside, if it's 85 degrees outside, I mean, we don't have a choice. We do not. We have AC. It works great. But we have to fire up the generator for that. And we will, especially when it gets really hot. We'll probably fire it up like once a day for an hour or two to cool the back bedroom, right? We'll just run the rear AC. Mm-hmm. And that's our plan. But yeah, you don't get to just do whatever you want when you're living on the power.
Did you all know that it's not a good idea to feed seagulls from the boat? And you guys have seen us do this before. We're guilty of it, and we've done it more than once. But it's not a good idea because they will poop all over the boat.
Okay, don't feed the seagulls. That's always a bad call. Because as soon as you do that, they hang out about your boat and they poop on everything.
If you make power with solar panels, they need to stay clean.
Seriously?
So as any cruiser will tell you, one of the basic necessities and one of the more difficult aspects is water. You gotta have it for drinking, for cleaning dishes. You just need fresh water for the dogs, for us. Now, water's pretty cheap on land, fresh drinking water, but you still have to go get it. We average on Flow, I don't know, about 3 gallons, maybe 4 gallons a day. It's been easier in the cool weather to have less requirement because, you know, you're not sweating as much, so you're not drinking as much. But I do drink a lot of water. I love water. Misha, it's hard to get her to drink water. It is what it is. So we go through, and it's probably not every week, but every 8 or 9 days, I have to go to shore with our jerry cans and fill up the tank with about 24 gallons of water. That seems to last right at a week, maybe 8 days. Right now, we're trying to get ahead. Our tanks are empty. We have 200 gallons of tank on board. So I'm filling up tanks every 3 days, just basically every time we go to shore, so that our tanks start getting filled back up. And once they're full, we should be ready to leave. Back. All right, while we're on the subject of water, let's talk about water makers. Now, you can get a good water maker for between $3,000 and $5,000. And one of those AC ones will produce between 15 and 30 gallons of fresh water in an hour. So that's an hour of generator time per week, basically. Which is not bad, right? That's $5 for, say, 20 gallons of water, give or take. Which works out to be what? It's 4 gallons $1, 25 cents a gallon. It's a lot more expensive than this water that we get from the marina, which is not free. We pay about 10 cents a gallon on the honor system for water over at the marina. The $3,000 or $4,000, $3,000 or $5,000 hit that you get up front is a little much, but some boats come with a water maker already on board. Ours already has a water maker. I just need to get new membranes for it. And truthfully, if you're gonna be, especially out and about, showering on your boat, you run the generator for an hour, make hot water, and make water, and run your hot water heater and your water maker at the same time, and then you've got a nice hot shower every week. And because our generator will put out way more than a water maker would use. So it is definitely in our best interest to get the water maker up and running again. Additionally, if you don't have a water maker on board, the cost, you could run for years. You could run once a week to get your 30 gallons, your 24 gallons of water. And, you know, at 24 gallons a week, that's $2.40 a week. You have to run a lot of weeks to get up to $4,000 for a water maker. So it's all about what you want to spend and return on investment. If you're living on the Ball in the lagoon here, there's actually better ways to get water. This is just really clever. I come ashore with a whole bunch of jerry cans all the time. How big is the trash can?
This one's 32 gallons, and it's food safe.
Food safe, 32 gallon. And then I assume when you get to your boat, you just throw a water pump in there and pump it up?
Yeah, bilge pump.
Nice.
Yeah, it works. It's a lot easier than toting all that weight, you know, with the jugs, jerry cans, and whatnot.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I just did a whole bit about the struggles of getting the jerry cans on and off the dinghy and back and forth to the boat, so.
Yeah.
So another aspect of this off-grid life, this life on the hook, life on the Ball, is groceries. Obviously you gotta eat. We don't have a car. We don't have folding bicycles or scooters. That will be in the cards at some point later on down the road. But for now, we walk everywhere we wanna go. We wanna go to the vet, we walk. We want to go to the grocery store, we walk. We need to go get gas for the dinghy, we walk. Everywhere we go, a lot of walking. Now, one of the big downsides to walking for your groceries is how many groceries you can get in a single shot. If Misha walks with me, we do okay. We can get, I don't know, 5 or 6 days worth. But because she's usually pretty busy during the day, I will make 2 trips a week to the grocery store and get about 2 or 3 days worth at a time, which works out really well. It keeps us with fresh fruit, but it does mean an awful lot of this long walk, which is about a mile each way with groceries. So about once a month, we do have to stop by for a staple on the boat, and we all know what that is. Whiskey.
All right, guys, so we've shown you the difficulties involved in something as simple as getting water to the boat. We've shown you the complexities of getting groceries on board. But since you don't buy food and water, you only rent it, we have to cover also what happens after the food and the water is
Expended.
expended. That's a good word.
Processed.
Not to put it too delicately.
For cruisers, as long as you're 3 miles offshore, your macerator pumps can just dump your waste overboard. And that's not a problem. In a lagoon like this, with so many boats in a space with very little current, You do not want anybody dumping overboard. Additionally, it's illegal. Everybody who has a mooring ball gets a once a week free pump out where they will come and pump your tank out. If you're at an anchorage in the lagoon, you have to pay to be pumped out. And the sheriff's department will come around and make sure, they want to see receipts, they will make sure you are pumping out.
So for a normal person, when your trash can is full in the kitchen or in the bathroom, you take it out to a can in your garage, and then once a week you wheel that out to the curb. Or if you're in an apartment, you take your bags out to the dumpster. This is very similar here, except that you have to dinghy your bags to shore, which is not a big deal. We dinghy them every time we come ashore. We just bring a bag of trash. But if you're out cruising, or if you're out at anchor, and you don't have access, you need to be very mindful of how much trash you make, because you're going to cart it around until you find a place to dump it off. And some places aren't free to dump it off. If you're spending 2 weeks sailing to Bermuda, you're going to pile up trash on the back of your boat if you're not careful with how much trash you make. So another thing you have to deal with all the time is laundry. Some boats have a washer-dryer combo or a separate washer and dryer on board, which is nice, but particularly if you're trying to live on the cheap, on the ball, or off-grid. If you're living off-grid, you have to make hot water for the laundry, you have to make the power for the laundry. You can hand wash stuff, and that works really well, and that's usually what we do when we're cruising around. But while we're on the ball here, they do have laundry facilities. They're not free. They're about $3 a load. So here is the laundromat. They have very loud cooling fans, as you can hear. But this way we don't have to make hot water, we don't have to waste water, and we don't have to worry about power. That's a mattress pad. Actually, we washed that one recently, but as I was getting it out of the boat, out of the dinghy, I dropped it back in the water. So we are washing it again. None of the machines here take money. They give you a card and you can continue to load it. I'm actually going to put all of the sheets in the same The only other real necessity on the boat is propane, which lasts a surprisingly long time. We have 2 small 2.5 pound propane bottles, 2.5 gallon propane bottles?
2.5 gallon?
2.5 gallon, yeah, the 2.5 gallon propane bottles. We do want to convert to induction cooktop at some point. We'll need more batteries for that, and probably a couple more solar panels. One of our biggest fans gave us a solar oven about a year ago. Thanks, Mom. And we just haven't pulled it out and used it yet. Never in a soup, food, or water when the tube is hot. Press spoon, it seemed. Oh, it popped. Yay, okay. And this is literally just Pillsbury purchased croissant dough.
Right.
It's just croissant dough. Put 2 in there, and you just roll them up. Olive oil.
Yeah, I feel
There
like
we go.
that's the way it's supposed to be. And now we're just gonna sit and drink a little while we wait for our pigs in a blanket to be done. just full of bad ideas today, you guys.
Tequila.
Very, very nice.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I think they just grounded their boat. Misha, they just grounded their boat. Oh my goodness. All right. Sometimes people have more dollars than cents. I don't know if you can tell, but there's steam coming out. Can you smell it again?
I can. Yeah, I can. I can smell it. It smells good.
Oh, I smell the croissants now too.
Do you smell
I
it?
smell them.
Something's cooking in there.
Something's cooking there, but yeah, you can really see the steam coming out of it.
Oh yeah, you can.
I think this might actually work.
So we're doing pigs in a blanket in the solar oven just to see if we can, right? Obviously that's not great beach food, especially when you've got straight tequila. But the goal here is to see if we can do baked goods, right? Obviously meats, vegetables are easy if you can do baked goods. So our first experiment with the GoSun is pigs in a blanket. We had some smokies and we had some croissant dough. We're about to see what happens. It's almost done. We extended the time by 10 minutes because one big cloud moved over at about the 10-minute marker. But it's back to steaming. It's back to smelling delicious. Are you ready for this, Misha?
I am so ready. I'm just watching the guy who's flagging down the Papa John's delivery car. I'm hungry, guys.
Clearly she's hungry.
It's time.
How do they look? Oh my goodness.
Oh, we might have burned
They
them.
might be a little bit overdone. That's crazy.
Holy cow.
It definitely cooked them. It definitely cooked them, guys, and they're definitely overdone.
Here we go. They are very crispy.
And they're probably hot.
Holy crap, they're hot. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna give Misha one. Here you go, baby.
It definitely worked. It definitely worked, and we gave it 45 minutes plus because we had a cloud come through, and we did some research, and somebody said it takes about 45 minutes to do croissants. These are overdone, guys, so it did not take.
Yeah, they're overdone, but you know what?
45
The inside is still nice and flaky. They're very light.
Done yet.
So one of the tricks, though, one of the things, not tricks. So one of the things the instructions recommend, because this thing works so well in the sun, as soon as you take food out of it, you need to move it away from the sun, because it will continue to get hot, hot, hot.
Okay, guys, we have enough sun, just enough sun left that I think we can try for a round 2. So it's only been about 20 minutes, but we're losing our sun again. So, and we're starting to actually smell the croissants. So we're gonna go ahead and pull them out and see if they are done. So let's go ahead and see what we've got.
Here we go. Look
What? They're still done. They might even still be a little overdone. Oh my goodness. 20 minutes. That's all it took.
What did you think of the solar oven?
I was so impressed. We've seen videos of people using these, and we were intrigued by it, and we thought, oh, what a cool idea. And we've seen, the footage of people pulling out perfectly cooked food, but you don't know until you try it. And it worked just amazingly well. In fact, it didn't take as long to cook as we thought it was going to. And we had clouds in the sky at one point, and we thought it was going to be uneven. We made pigs in a blanket, so we weren't sure if, one, the croissants were going to bake thoroughly, or if the sausages were going to drip into the tray and it was going to come out soggy. They were perfect.
They were
perfect. They were
right.
delicious.
You watch the videos and you're like, it's all time lapse or it's all like cut scenes. And so like, let's make some cookies. And they throw cookies in the solar oven and then they're like, oh, pull it up. It's only been 30 seconds or however long they say it's been. And you're like, has it? Right? Because there's a lot of fake stuff on the internet. And you know what? You have no reason to think that we didn't fake this either. But we didn't.
We didn't. Actually, we did look up how long it would take to bake croissants in one of these. And what we found was about 45 minutes, give or take. And I don't know where they were.
Actually, the thing we looked up said 50 minutes, and she said they came out overdone. So I said, well, we'll do 45, thinking that 5 minutes was the difference. What, 20?
It took about 20 minutes. It took about the same amount of time that you would put them in a standard oven, which we were thoroughly impressed with.
Yeah, blown away, right? In fact, at 20 minutes, they were slightly overdone. Like if I had put them in the oven for 20 minutes and they'd looked like that, I would have been like, oh, I cooked them too long.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't burnt, but man, they were so
I think
perfect.
20 minutes I still think was a little bit too long. And now I think on the package of croissants, it might say 13 minutes or something like that. And I think if we had left it in the solar oven for that amount of time, I think that would have been the right amount of time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, that thing was
it worked out
amazing.
great.
I'm looking forward to cooking a lot more with that.
Mm-hmm.
So. Well, that does it for this one, guys. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. If we've earned your subscription, please hit the like button, subscribe, ring the notification bell. It doesn't cost you anything, and it lets the algorithm know that our videos are worth watching. So I guess we will see you next week. So here's another tangent we're going to talk about. The patrons are the only ones that get this, but trash can punch. Oh my God.
Nailed it.
Trash can punch. Some people get confused as about
Try that again. And
Okay.
here's the still image of the day.
It's gotta be you though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
no, we
it
can.
does.
It can
Totally does.
be. It can be both of us.
Both of
Let's
us.
both make a face.